Okay, ready? Let's go. Well, here we are for our take two. No. Here we are. Hello.
Hi everyone.
We're here to do a weekly inspirational word through the scriptures and through singing. My wife's got a beautiful voice, and we're both going to get into the word together. We have our Bibles.
Oh, I have mine.
And we just want to do this to encourage people, to help people as they go through life struggles. So I'm always going to open up with a song, and well, listen.
Hi everyone. I want to sing the song Just a Little Talk with Jesus. It's one of my favorite songs, and I hope you enjoy it. So here we go. Just a Little Talk with Jesus. I once was lost in sin, but Jesus took me in, and then a little light from heaven filled my soul. It bathed my heart in love and wrote my name above, and just a little talk with Jesus made me whole. Now let us have a little talk with Jesus. Let us tell him all about our troubles. He'll hear our faintest cry. He'll answer by and by. You feel a little prayer will turn, and you know a little fire is burning. You find a little talk with Jesus makes it right. Now sometimes my past seems dreary without the ray of cheer, and then the cloud about me hides the light of day. The mist in me rises and hides the stormy skies. Just a little talk with Jesus clears the way. Now let us have a little talk with Jesus. Let us tell him all about our troubles. He'll hear our faintest cry. He answers by and by. You feel a little prayer will turn, and you know a little fire burning. You find a little talk with Jesus makes it right. I may have doubts and fears, my eyes are filled with tears, but Jesus is a friend who watches day and night. I go to him in prayer, and he knows my every care. Just a little talk with Jesus makes it right. Now let us have a little talk with Jesus, and let us tell him all about our troubles. He hears our faintest cry, and he answers by and by. When you feel a little prayer will turn, and you know a little fire is burning, you find a little talk with Jesus makes it right. Now you find a little talk with Jesus makes it right. And now you find a little talk with Jesus makes it right.
Very, very beautiful,
Thank you,
beautiful.
Jesus. Yes.
All right, now my wife wanted to get into the book of Matthew.
I wanted to talk about sin
She wanted to talk about sin
and what sin is and where it
what
comes
sin
from.
really is, what it really is. What we're gonna deal with pertaining to that subject. Basic overall. We'll just talk about symptoms versus virus. One of the scriptures we're going to go through is Matthew chapter 5 and verse 17. I want to read Matthew 5:17, Kat.
Okay. Think not that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill.
Okay. The reason Jesus made this point forth is because it looked like to them that's what he was doing. It looked like he come to change it all. If you read through the New Testament, you'll find that most of the apostles and disciples look like guys that were going against the norm, were going against what everybody was used to. John the Baptist, for instance, looked like he was a radical, they called it rebel today. Not true. They were doing what God wanted them to do. The ones that were rebellious were the ones that weren't doing what God wanted them to do, which was the organized church, the organized religion, the denominations, the movements of that time. They were the ones that were not doing what God wanted to do. So when Jesus brings his point forth, he said, "Think not that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets. I didn't come to destroy, but to fulfill." Now there's a difference between following and fulfilling. Okay? Every church under the sun has rules to follow. You go to any church, I don't care what church it is.
There's a big list.
Big list. Big giant list. But it doesn't matter if it's non-denominational, it doesn't matter if it's Catholic, it doesn't matter what it is. They have lists, they have their rules that you have to follow. See, we don't follow rules, we follow Jesus. And then we fulfill God's law, God's word through Jesus. You see. Okay, so there's a total difference between fulfilling and following. Following, you're way, way back there. Fulfilling, you're way ahead. And that's what we did in Christ. We have fulfilled, just as he said here, I come to fulfill it. Alright, next verse, verse 18.
For verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass, one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law, till all be fulfilled.
Okay, so Jesus makes a point. None of it's going to pass until it's fulfilled. All of it. Alright? Well, previous verse, he said, that's what I come to do is fulfill it. This verse, he said, none of it will pass until it's all fulfilled. That's what he came to do. He came to fulfill it. You see. So now he's going to get into some descriptions here. He's going to get into some ideas, if you will. Let's read it. Go to verse 19.
Whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments, and shall teach men so, he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. But whosoever shall do and teach them, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven.
Okay, so now he gets into where he's talking about least commandments. Least, small, tiny, don't matter, if you will, because they're the smallest. Something that we overlook. Okay. And when he says this, he doesn't mean that they're not included with the 10 laws. Doesn't mean that. You see. Doesn't mean that they're not in the norm. Doesn't mean that they're minimum or tiny or any of that. You see. What it looks from our perspective is, well, they don't really matter. See. In our eyes. Just like it's always the small things that we overlook. And they're always the most important. It's so shocking how that is. Take this for instance. Most simple thing there is, yet we overlook it. We think money gives that to us. We think prestige and honor and all these things give. No. Take as much as you like. I know I do all the time. Anyway, read the next verse.
Am I at 20?
20.
For I say unto you that except your righteousness shall exceed the righteousness of the scribes and Pharisees, you shall in no case enter into the kingdom of heaven.
Okay, now he's saying here, basically, whoever you think is better than you, well, you better be better than them.
Uh-oh.
These are the people that look up to priests, ministers, pastors, all these guys that people look up to and say, oh, I wish I could be like that, or oh, gee, I wish. He said, well, you better be better than them. Your righteousness better exceed theirs. See? And that's our problem, see? We are trying to be like a man. You know, there's so many names you could name across the board. So many ministers. You know, any names, big names, if you will. And people, oh, you know, they go goo goo gaga over these men.
Oh yeah, they do.
You know. And Jesus is telling us this. You have to be better than them. Why is that? Well, this is the reason. This is the reason he is telling us our righteousness has to exceed theirs. This is the reason he's saying this. Because you're not supposed to be like a man. You're not supposed to be like anyone on this earth. You're supposed to be like your Father in heaven. And that's who God makes us to be, like him. You see, that's why we're his children. That's why there's a difference. You see, so if you think of a person that is, oh, the best of the best of the best of the best, well, you better be better than them. And God makes us better than them. How? Through Jesus. You see, God makes us better than the best person you can think of. Not by what we do, not by what we don't do, not by what we say or don't say, by what Jesus did, by what Jesus said. You see, that's how we have that, because of what Jesus has done. So our righteousness that God gives us, it's not our own. The folks that these guys are looking to, it's their own righteousness. It's theirs. And that fails in comparison. No.
You can't earn the gift.
You can't earn it. And if you try, you're in trouble. You're a slave. Anyway, so now, case in point again, we're going back to the idea. Virus versus symptom. Fulfillment versus following, and then man's righteousness and God's righteousness. Those are the points that are being shown here. Go ahead, honey, read the rest.
You have heard that it was said by them of old time, thou shalt not kill, and whoever shall kill shall be in danger of the judgment.
Okay. Now, he brings this point, thou shalt not kill. And you know, it's funny because a lot of people will bring this point forward. They'll say, oh, you know what? That guy went to hell. They'll say this. He went to hell because he killed himself. And the Bible clearly says, thou shalt not kill. So he broke the law. So he's got to be in hell because he committed suicide. Many religions will tell you this. I always tell people this. I say, well, you know, it's a good thing that it's not up to man whether someone's in hell or not, because I'd be in hell if it was up to man.
Yeah.
And that's it. No, it's not up to man. It's up to God. Period. God is the only one that has any say who goes anywhere. Okay? God is the only one, not man. Okay? Well, when he says here, you shall not kill. You see? He told you. He says it right there. You heard them say this. You heard them say this. You shall not kill. And whoever shall kill, see, as it says there, shall be in danger of the judgment. Okay. Well, it's shocking because that's true. We read it in the Old Testament. Thou shalt not kill. That's what it says there. Okay. Read the next verse, honey.
But I say unto you, that whosoever is angry with his brother without a cause shall be in danger of the judgment. And whosoever shall say to his brother, Raka, shall be in danger of the council. But whosoever shall say, thou fool, shall be in danger of hellfire.
Wow. So right there it tells us. It tells us that. It tells us that if you're angry, see? Well, think about it. The end result of anger is killing. The action of anger is killing, is hurting, is to get back at, to cause some kind of pain to them. Well, it stems from the anger. Well, if the anger is taken care of, that means the action is taken care of also. So Jesus was dealing with the root of the problem, not the result, the root. You see, and that's what happens to us as children of God, as Christians, whatever we want to call ourselves. We get into these little, oh, got to do this, oh, got to do that, oh, we better do this, oh, we better do that. And we look here and we try to get rid of the symptoms. See, the killing is the symptom. The germ is the anger. You get rid of the germ, killing goes with it automatically. Next one, verse 23.
Therefore, if thou bring thy gift to the altar, and there rememberest that thy brother hath aught against thee, leave there thy gift before the altar, and go thy way. First be reconciled to thy brother, and then come and offer thy gift.
Okay, so here God, Jesus tells us, if you have a gift and you aren't reconciled, now remember, keep in mind, brother, it has to be a brother. Can't be just anyone. It's got to be a brother. There's a significant importance there. If you have aught against your brother, see,